Hey guys. Okay, so I know you weren't a huge fan of the Sleepy Hollow, no, Devil and Tom Walker. Boo. Anyway, let's try this again, but this time with the Fall of the House of Usher. And I will read to you Tiny Pumpkins. And let's see how it goes to see if maybe you are a little bit more entwined with this one. Okay, so in your packets, please, if you could just follow along as I read, please take notes as I read this so you are aware of everything that is happening. All right. Okay, you about ready? Sorry, now I'm like lost where we are. Okay. Haha. All right, so we began one of Poe's probably most famous stories called The Fall of the House of Usher, and there's 3 parts to it. Sorry, I'm growing my bangs out. They drive me crazy. All right, so we have 3 characters. We have Roderick, who is the main person. He is the owner of the house, and his sister, Madeline. Now, Roderick and Madeline are quite strange. That's kind of Poe's motif. He just has strange people. And Roderick is very sick. He has a nervous condition. It never really states what that is. And, you know, the case of the nerves it's very iconic of its time period, but no one really knows what that is. They just called it it's a case of the nerves. It's a nervous syndrome, and that's all they'll say about it. And so we don't really know what is the actual, like in modern terms, what is really wrong with him, but he's sick and he's slowly dying. And his sister Madeline is also sick as well. And they're calling their friend over to come stay with them and to kind of help them out in their final days. What's interesting is that the narrator who tells us this entire story, we never even know his name. It's completely unnamed, but we see everything through his point of view, his eyes. And it makes you wonder, why didn't he name him? Why this anonymity? You know, it doesn't make sense. Unless, of course, if you think about it, why create this story that can be told through the eyes of anyone? Because who can feel what's happening here? Anyone. Okay, this is a story that affects anyone who reads it. Now, before you get all like, this is not scary. No, by your standards, it's not going to be scary, because we have horror movies where we have aliens jumping out of people's rib cages and babies being sacrificed. And there's some really messed up horror movies out there, you know, and just everything else. And, you know, girls crawling through TV screens and black and white clowns that... Okay, so no, by your standards, it's not going to be something that would be quintessentially scary. But for its time period, people would read these stories and then faint. You know, it'd just be like, oh my Lord. It's just the idea of this. Sorry, guys, my cats are in the room. But this idea of, do you mind? And this to have this kind of this potent fear is just... Stop embarrassing me. Get him, Maeve. Good girl. Okay, so anyway, let's go on and let's read.